15 years ago, if you would have just talked to a regular random person that maybe would go out to a bar or restaurant a couple of times a week, and you brought up Mezcal, even if they were a tequila drinker, it had this like very negative connotation that it's poison. There was like these old wives' tales and like rumors about it, but like that it was this like forbidden drink. And a lot of people probably even thought it was illegal for the longest time. I think they've done a fantastic job to bring it into the mainstream.
Mezcal is like very hot right now, for sure. It's bigger than it's ever been. Like I get guests, people I've never met before coming in asking for a Naked and Famous. The craziest thing is also this. It's the same thing that happened to the Negroni 10 years ago. People are coming in, they're asking for a recommendation. We're recommending like a Oaxacan old fashioned, and they're drinking the whole thing and ordering another one. Like that's mental.
We got a lot of people that will ask for the Mezcal for Bloody Mary because it's that spicy and smoky. I've actually used it in espresso martinis. I've done several old fashions. People do a Mezcal old fashioned, use the basic simple and some orange bitters and actually like a little bit of chocolate bitters. It's actually one of those that works well. I've infused one with dried cranberries. But also I did one with coffee and used Mezcal with a whiskey and then pepper honey syrup. So it's very versatile. It plays with a lot of different flavors very well.
The only thing cool though is like how versatile it is that it works. You can't just start throwing whiskeys in with triple sec and sour mix and lime juice to make margaritas, but you can, I feel like across the board, mezcals will substitute for darker spirits and clear spirits.
I think we're almost at the point now where people are going to start asking for a Mezcal Negroni. Like the Mezcal Negroni is absolutely exploded.
No one was like, here's how you should drink Mezcal. But everyone was just like, oh yeah, just swap it out for gin. Because it lives in that, like I said earlier, it lives in that same world of like herbal, flavorful. So everyone's just swapping gin out.
It's almost a branch of tequila at the moment in the UK, isn't it? And it's a more challenging drink. Mezcal is obviously produced in lots of different ways. You get some really, really smoky, challenging, and some that are much more akin to tequila and less challenging, soft, gentle. But at the moment, the lack of understanding of the UK market and the lack of variety in the UK market means people just kind of, if they try one that they don't like, they try a particularly smoky mezcal, the first mezcal they try, that pretty much writes it off for them, and they'll be like, oh, hate mezcal, tastes like TCP, don't like it, you know. So I think there's definitely a lot of way to go for brands to explain that story.
Everyone who drinks scotch, they have this understanding of like how peated something is. You go, oh, there's Lefroy right at the top, and then there's something like Alistair, that's a bit smoky. Then you get like Johnny Walker Black, which has a bit of smoke in the blend, and then you get things that aren't at all. Where is that for mezcal? No one asks the question. There's no grading system. The variation in mezcal is crazy. I don't think anyone is ordering based on that count. I don't think anyone is going in and going, do you have any of the different strains of the agave? Do you have any blended mezcals? Like, no one's asking for that. And I think that's because it's not commonly known. People don't know about this. It's just something I've never seen in mezcal, and it's something that really off-puts people.
I think people are slowly getting more educated and knowledgeable about it. They're expanding their palettes on other brands. So I think we're going to see it. It's been a slow growth over the last probably year and a half, and I think it's going to grow more and more.
There just hasn't been a company yet that's really produced their own, and I don't know what's taken so long, to be honest. Like how like a major tequila company hasn't really like been to the forefront of it.
I don't think I've ever had anyone brand call a mezcal in any bar I've ever worked in, because you're not going to be guaranteed. Like, it's not like JD, where there's definitely going to be JD in the bar. It's not like they're definitely going to have a Grey Goose. It's just not a thing where there's any big enough producers, and any large enough producer of mezcal. Are they traditionally producing mezcal, or are they just making smoky tequila?
there's no big brands that really feel like they own it at the moment. I mean, some of the bigger tequila brands, or the more popular tequila brands like Casamigos we mentioned earlier, have, you know, brought out a Mezcal, and that is selling all right for us.
There's a lot of good coming out of these brands, buying up these small lots of Mezcal, bottling them and selling them on the market with the intention to give money back to these smaller communities. And I think that's why, in certain senses, I like that Mezcal has been able to protect itself from over-commercialization. And I think that, to me, is what really is different in the world of Mezcal, that a brand is not necessarily the one producing it, but the brand is the one who is getting these unique products together and being able to showcase them to the world.
Having a consistent bottling and labeling across multiple producers, multiple products, much like what Vida did, it does work. That's how you build a brand that people recognize. You don't go, I am Ocho, or I'm Tapatio, and I've got a Mezcal. You go, I've got all these Mezcals. They're all in the same bottle, so you can say roughly, I know what that's to be like.
So it very much makes sense to go, here is my product. I make a tequila. We also make a Mezcal. It's the same bottle. I've seen the Casamigos Mezcal bottle. It's awesome. It's like the black sandstone. It's absolutely amazing. That's really cool. On the other hand, it does really fortify this idea that that Mezcal is just like, oh, like tequila's weird cousin.
Even if Don Julio or Don Fulano or Fortaleza or even if Ocho started putting out a Mezcal, I'm not sure that automatically gives it much play. Yeah, if the product is good, that will definitely help. But if you just say, I make X, now I make Y, I don't think that's going to give them quite the grip on the market that they expect.